Hello and welcome to the News9 Plus show on the world's first news and current affairs OTT platform, News9 Plus. It's one of the biggest upsets in the cricketing world. On the 22nd of June, Afghanistan beat Australia at the T20 World Cup 2024. Now think about it again. A country that got ICC membership only in 2017 beat one of the cricketing world's superpowers, Australia. Now on the 25th of June, the Afghan cricket team beat Bangladesh. They've now entered the semi-finals to be played on the 27th of June. Now this is a remarkable achievement for a country that's been at war for over 4 decades. In fact, Afghanistan's journey is the stuff cricketing dreams are made of. Celebrations erupted in Afghanistan and in India, where a sizable number of Afghans stay, and of course across the world where the Afghan diaspora is located. Even the foreign minister of the Taliban administration, Amir Khan Muttaqi, congratulated the captain, Rashid Khan. We're talking to some Afghan people on their opinion on the progress of their cricket team and who they would like to see in the finals. Joining me to discuss this today are Amit Singh, former sports manager of the Afghan cricket team for nearly a decade, Venkat Sundaram, sports author and critic, and from Kabul, joining us is Syed Sartaj Shahidzai. Welcome to the News9 Plus show, gentlemen. Syed, I want to start by asking you this. What is the mood right now in Kabul where you are? Afghan cricketing team pulling off one upset after the other in the T20 Cricket World Cup. What's the mood like in Kabul?
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to say that let's try not to use the word upset anymore, especially for the Afghan cricket team, the way they are playing and the way they are progressing day by day.
Right.
Yes, that we have defeated Australia in the league matches, and now we have qualified to semi-finals by beating also one of the toughest teams, Bangladesh. It can give
Yes.
us a very tough time. All the time when we are playing against Bangladesh, it's not easy game for Afghanistan, but luckily that we were able to defend a very low total. The mood is really good. It's a totally different atmosphere in
Yes.
Afghanistan from Kabul to Kandahar.
Right.
It's still being celebrated. It's in the offices, in the restaurants, in social gatherings, schools, coffee shops, everywhere. It's still being celebrated, and hopefully that this celebration goes and continues till Saturday and Sunday,
Right.
because now we are talking about or making plans that how we can overcome one of other tough teams, South Africa, in the semi-final, and hopefully that we can make it to the final. So the atmosphere is really positive. The people are enjoying and they are happy, and we are really proud of the team, of the players that they are playing in such a crucial league or stage, and we are still making good progress. So
Right, absolutely.
It is being celebrated on a very high note in Afghanistan.
It is indeed, as Syed Sartaj just said, from Kabul to Kandahar, Afghanistan is united in celebrating its cricket team. But I want to bring in Amit Singh here, who's been with the Afghan cricket team in Greater Noida for almost a decade. Amit, tell us about the cricket team of Afghanistan and Rashid Khan, the person that everyone's looking at. What was it like, working with them for almost 10 years that you were here with them?
Thank you for calling me onto the show. As like the team, you already have mentioned that a nation which has been into the war for more than 4 decades. So first thing is undoubtedly we should accept that they have got a very strong willpower, and that strong willpower already makes the significance mark, whether it be cricket or any other places where they are marking their presence.
Right.
So when it comes to they come from a very strong, very tough situations and very strong
They've led a very hard life. When you say willpower, Amit, it's a very important thing, of course, in sports. But given the background of the cricketers, I mean, they've left their homes, they've come here, they're literally in exile. They're cricketers in exile. But what was it about the willpower? Give us an example of Rashid Khan, for instance. What was it about his willpower?
I could recall it very firmly as like it is an incident of yesterday, that when they were hosting Ireland for T20 series and they were 1 down, and then the second match was going on, it rained, And after the rains, as per DL method, they were losing by few runs.
Right.
But then everyone was just praying. We too were, as it being the Afghanistan home ground,
Right.
we too were part and associated with the team. We were praying that rain should stop. And after that, they changed the game all the way around, because I have heard and I have seen Rashid backing his players. At that time, I'm talking about 6 years back, but at that time also, he was backing his players. No, we can still do it. And that is where the willpower comes in, where the positive approach comes in, and everything goes well, and then they won the match and the series.
Right, absolutely. That willpower that you brought out, and the fact that it's the captain that makes all the difference, as it does with every cricketing team. But Rashid is that X factor in the Afghan cricket team. Venkat Sundaram, you've been studying the Afghan cricket team's progress, and I've been asked by Syed Sartaj not to use the word upset. Because now we've come to, it's par for the course now. When Afghanistan plays any team, it's literally, it's a match among equals. How did Afghanistan do it? I mean, how did they swing their fortunes around in such a short period of time? What are the lessons for us to learn from Afghanistan's cricket team?
Look, I would use one word, and that's resilience.
Resilience.
Because it is not so sudden. It's not the first time they've stood up and asked to be counted. They played the World Cup in India and nearly caused a huge upset there.
Right.
Australia, if you remember, was saved by Maxwell, who scored a double hundred against the odds and pulled the match literally out of the fire.
Yes.
Afghanistan has planned their cricket quite competently.
Right.
They've been guided by India in many ways. But they first made Sharjah their base, then they shifted their base to India.
Yes.
They came to Greater Noida and then went on to Dehradun and other places. Their players are playing now all over the world in limited overs T20 format. And they've got a lot of experience. In this format, if you notice, it is easy to cause an upset because you're playing a 120 ball game.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Right.
And if you keep it simple, if you make the first 30 overs, you don't lose wickets. Then the middle overs and the tail end, you can go for it, because you got wickets in hand. That's precisely what they've done in the last two matches. Having said that, this is no cakewalk for them. They've had to fight tooth and nail throughout this tournament.
Yes.
They beat teams like New Zealand, Australia, and yesterday Bangladesh. These are just playing nations.
Yes.
And they've beaten them convincingly and deserve their place in the semi-finals. Of course, now the pressure will tell because the expectations will be very high. How they handle those expectations, how they plan their next steps, that will be crucial. They've shown the guts, they've shown the perseverance, they've shown the resilience, and above all, they've shown the spirit. You can see it in their body language, the way they approach a match, the way they played against Australia was amazing. I thought they right from the beginning looked like winners, when they posted a score of nearly 149. I mean, the Australians were cock-a-hoop and they thought they'd get it. But no, the bowlers struck to a length and line, they bowled to their field. And above all, I find that this combination is very humble. They play to their limitations, right? They don't try something new at this stage. If you're a golfer, they say you should not try new shots while on the golf range or while playing on the in a golf format. So I think similarly, these people have shown that they stick to their game plan, and that's important because if it is working, there's no need to change it. And they've beaten good teams, they've fielded well, they've held some very good catches, and the captaincy of Rashid has been exemplary. He knows each one's strengths and weaknesses, and he pushes them right to excel, and that is what is important because a match is not lost till it is won, and it's not won till the other team loses. So I think he's sticking to his basics. He's rotating his bowlers astutely, and he's playing on the nerves of batsmen. Excellent performance by the Afghan team.
Excellent performance by the Afghan team indeed. And the beauty of the Afghan team is that they're a sight to behold literally on the ground. The way they celebrate, the way they, that the team spirit is on display for all to see. But Syed Sartaj, is cricket the most popular sport in Afghanistan right now? I'm sure it does. It is in the diaspora, especially in India and of course in Pakistan. But do a lot of Afghans play cricket? And will they start playing cricket if they're not already?
Indeed, yes. I can say that Afghanistan, or the fans, or the people, the craze and the love for cricket is somehow nearly matching the craze in India for cricket. The kids play in front of their homes. We play a big tennis ball or table ball cricket everywhere in all parts of the country, and it's growing day by day, even in those geographical areas or regions where cricket was not popular. But with the progress that we are making at the international level, now even those Afghans who not knew what cricket is and how it is played, now the kids are playing in schools, in their courtyards and grounds, and it's getting popular with each passing day and with each every win that we register at the international platform. So it is played very well. And one thing I must say that I would like to thank the Indian people, the BCCI and the Indian cricket, that for supporting us on every level, morally, technically, by providing platforms, giving us cricket grounds, and as you explained, that the diasporas across the world, especially in India, they're still playing cricket, and they're thankful of the Indian people for supporting and giving us the support. And to this level, that where Afghanistan cricket team is, truly there is a tremendous support given by the Indian people in the Indian cricket, and we would like to thank the IPL
Right.
management that they are supporting, and they're giving platform or chances to our players. So from there, they're gaining experience. They're playing with the different players, international players, and even with greats of the Indian cricket. So thank you so much. And yes, it
Yes.
is growing day by day. And no matter we lose or win, still the cricket will be played, and it will be loved, and it will be celebrated in Afghanistan.
Cricket will be loved and played and celebrated. But Syed Sartaj, but tell us that what is the expectation among the Afghan people? I mean, I'm sure you want to see your heroes actually come back home. Do you see a point in time when the Afghan cricket team could actually come to Kabul and be welcomed by the people?
You mean will be coming back with the trophy, with the
Yes,
championship, or
well,
will be coming?
regardless, I mean,
Yes.
they've played like champions. And so it now doesn't really matter if they win or not. The winning streak that they've had, I'm sure at some point you would like to see the Afghan cricket team come home to Kabul. Do you see that happening very soon?
Yes, they are really much welcome, because they are part of Afghanistan. They are our team. They are our national heroes, and we are definitely welcoming them. It is their home. They are very much welcome. They can come. They can be part with the people, and even Afghans. Everybody, they're waiting for their national heroes to come, to be with them, to take photos, take their autographs, to listen to them. So there is no hesitation. I mean, not welcoming or not
Right.
seeing our heroes among us. So we are waiting for them, and regardless of their winning the championship or not, because
Yes.
still by defeating Australia, some Afghans they consider that don't like when we beat it. Australia, everybody was saying that for us the World Cup is over. We have
That's
won
right.
the World
You've
Cup, and
beat one
now
of the
they can come home.
strongest. You've beat one of the strongest
Yes.
cricketing team, and tomorrow they face South Africa, another big challenge. And who knows after that? If they beat South Africa, it could possibly be a Dharam Sankat with India. Amit?
No, you have used the word upset.
Yes.
My brother has
No,
already.
yes, Syed Sartaj has objected to the
already
word
objected.
upset, yes.
I too would have objected if I would have got the opportunity. But
Right.
Fortunately, the thing is, upset could have been in one match or
Yes.
maximum at two. This a series where
Right.
they have already proven themselves in one day World Cup and now in T20. So it can't be an upset.
Yes. Now it's absolutely
It's the performance
it's
and the performance of their hard work.
It's, I think if a team beats Afghanistan, that would be an upset
that
now, given their
I won't
winning
be,
streak.
frankly speaking, I won't be surprised
Yeah.
if we would be witnessing India versus Afghanistan in the finals, then it would be a dharam sankat for me.
Yes.
For the people like who had been associated with Afghanistan,
right,
from the day one when they were into the.
So that's going to be a big crisis for people like us who've been backing both teams, both India and Afghanistan. Especially you, Amit Singh. Who are you going to back for?
Everyone who has been associated with the Afghanistan team when they came up to India,
Yes.
including Venkat Sundaramji.
Right.
He too was part of the sports complex management when Afghanistan team came
Yes.
for the to Greater Noida for the very first time. He has
Yes.
got a significant role to play in it.
Right.
So people who has been associated, the best thing with the Afghanistan team is they are very humble, very ground to earth. They
Yes.
won't ever let you feel that they are, even the international cricketers, they will meet you like brothers
Yes.
in every format, and that's the
Humility,
most,
that's one trait that's come out very strongly, as Venkat was mentioning as well. Venkat Sundaram, India versus Afghanistan in the finals, who are you going to root for?
Well, I could hear what you were saying, but I endorse what Amit said,
Yes.
that Afghanistan is a team to reckon with. They will play to their heart's ability and to their, they'll enjoy the game. That's what this cricket is all about. T20
Yes.
has to enjoy it. To play your best, you have to be relaxed. You have to trust your skills, and you have to go for it. I think that Afghanistan, the expectations are not too high, but when you play a
Yes.
semi-final, they've got nothing to lose.
Right.
So they'll definitely play to their strengths, which is to try and score 150 to 180. Match is being played at Port of Spain, Trinidad, which has a reputation of playing a little low and slow, which will suit them totally,
Right.
and will negate the bounce and pace of the South African bowlers. The batting of South Africa has been in bits and pieces impressive and unimpressive. Sometimes they take, sometimes they don't. That's cricket. This type of cricket, that's what happens, especially on pitches which are little friendly towards the bowlers. So I think there will be a cracker of a game. Semi-final of a World Cup is never easily won. So both the teams will go all out for it. And I'm
Right.
sure India's match against England will be equally challenging. Let us
Yes.
not underestimate the English, and let's not talk about the final. We're only in the semi-finals. We
Right.
need to get over England. England is no pushover, let me tell you that.
Yes.
They got a lethal pace attack. Geoffrey Archer at his best now.
Right.
And their batting is clicking. Holt and Butter are dangerous players. They got Brooks in the middle. And I think their team competition is pretty balanced. So I think India's match will also be very close and tightly fought.
Right, a very close and tightly fought match with England indeed. But Syed, tell us your predictions for Afghanistan's cricket fortunes. The next couple of matches are going to be really crucial. South Africa is really crucial. But as we were just saying, Amit was saying that if South Africa beats Afghanistan, that would be an upset. But an India-Afghanistan final, are we getting a little too ahead of the matches? What's your prediction?
Well, maybe, but being an Afghan or considering the current scenario, yes, there is a possibility because all odds are in our favor. Like the morale is really high.
Yes.
We beat some good quality teams like New Zealand and Australia. We narrowly skipped and went through the semi-final. And if you look at the Australian, the South African side, and the history tells that they have never came out of the semi-final. So
Yes.
that pressure will also be on the South African team, in that the moral that now we have in, as explained by the other experts, it's a win-win situation for Afghanistan. We have already achieved what we were looking forward to, reaching the semi-finals, and now the situations are really in the favor. The grounds and the pitch is in the favor of the Afghanistan bowling, and our guys are really contributing, especially like previously we were only relying on the spinners, but now in this tournament our seamers and pacers, they have shown that they can contribute to the most extent, and now Gulbuddin played a very good part. Now the leading wicket taker is Faruqi, and also Naveen has done a good job against Bangladesh. So there is a possibility, and we are really looking forward to. Currently in Afghanistan, we are discussing a final between India and Afghanistan. So hopefully that India wins, reaches to the final, and we meet them. We meet India in the final.
Yes, yes, and that will be the most interesting cricket match possibly in recent times that's ever been played. But thank you very much for joining us, Syed Sartaj. Afghanistan on a winning track, on a winning spree. Rashid's Afghan giant killers are the story that we've been following very closely, and we will indeed tomorrow as well, when Afghanistan plays South Africa and India play England. Who will be in the finals? We don't know, but there's two teams that we're rooting for tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us, Venkat Sundaram and Amit Singh, for that story on Rashid's Afghan giant killers. 41 paper leaks in 15 states. That's how many leaks India has seen in the last 5 years. Now, these leaks, they've affected 1.5 crore job seekers who applied for over 1 lakh vacancies. And the latest is the NEET UG paper leak, where over 30 lakh students are currently in a limbo for the medical entrance examinations. Is control-based access the solution for paper leaks in India? How do you fix India's paper leak problem? Joining me to discuss this today are Vikram R. Singh, entrepreneur, blockchain consulting firm EduBlock, Advocate Anubhav Srivastava Sahai, and in the studio with me is my colleague Karthik Malhotra. Karthik, serious problem with paper leaks, one after the other. There's a series of paper leaks. What are the kind of solutions that the government is looking at to fix this?
Sandeep, I think, it's interesting that we live in a country. We are the largest democracy.
Yes.
We can conduct free and fair elections.
Yes.
We are unable to create and conduct free and fair examinations. So, I think it's a dichotomy. You have the solutions, you have the technology, you have agencies which can operate at scale and ensure that not a single ballot is compromised.
Yes.
But you are unable to control just 25 lakh students appearing for an examination, and you have cases of paper leak happening. I mean, technology is there, whether EVM sort of technology, or perhaps something more cryptic like the blockchain, where there is a lock and there are multiple keys available to a lot of distributed ledgers which can unlock that particular lock. But the point is, there's got to be the intention, there's got to be the political will, and you've got to know that something is not right and that something needs to be fixed, and fixed urgently. Year on year, you can't have a recurring problem like this.
We can't have a recurring problem, Karthik. And it's interesting that this conundrum that you mentioned, that we are doing exceedingly well in certain areas, but we seem to take a beating in others. We send a rocket to the moon, but we are unable to design an assault rifle. That's the technical conundrum.
True.
Like we live in.
If free and fair examinations is rocket science, who better than India to do that rocket science, right?
Let's ask the person at the center of it all, Mr. Vikram Singh, blockchain consulting firm EduBlock. Mr. Singh, welcome to the News9 Plus show. Tell us what EduBlock could do for exams. How do you plan to fix this problem? You've made a couple of presentations on your app. Tell us how it works. This point that Karthik made, that we've got the technology to make 80 crore people vote without a problem, but we simply can't seem to get people to write examinations without papers leaking.
So what we believe that this entire system, like the problem is more of a system problem. Like we always keep saying that it's a kind of like a people's problem, it's the people corruption, but we believe it's the system problem, because if you look at how the system works currently, like you decide certain questions and then you send the paper for the printing, then somebody collects the printed paper and then send them over to the kind of centers. So the entire process is like quite the entire value chain. If you say there are so many areas, so many where this leakage can happen. So it's not a it's the system problem. So what we have done, like we have designed a solution like which is called EduBlock Pro over blockchain. So as you know, like blockchain is synonymous to trust, but most of the time we just think the moment we think of blockchain, we think of cryptocurrency.
That's right.
But if you go behind it, so what we have done, so using the cryptography and the time-based and based encryption. So what we have done, we have removed the people interference from the entire process. So what we have done, we have shifted the trust from people to the machine. So as long as you are able to maintain a database which is like on the DLT, and all the questions are on the DLT and making the sanity, ensuring the sanity of that same, and you can simply instruct the system the kind of a question paper you want to design, and the moment this process is done, so we kind of lock the entire digital packet with the private key of the admin, which has been prepared without like him getting a look or maybe seeing any question, right? And this question paper, this packet is can only be unlocked by when the candidate's key is applied and even the invigilator's key is applied, and that too on the day of examination, another an hour early. So we have done this, last year only. So we conducted two POCs with the Health Department of Punjab, wherein I would say like we created history, wherein first time in the history of India, a question paper and in a trustless fashion, which means like no human interference and printed in a real-time environment. So what we propose over here that if you shift the entire process onto the technology, right? And let the system do its job, and you can cut down the 100% challenges, the logistic challenges which which are there, as you have to provide the ballot box like security to all the question people. So and we have already proved that part, and so you can conduct very fair examination on blockchain, so using this system.
Right. It sounds interesting what you just mentioned, Mr. Singh. And I mean, this is possibly the debate that was in India about 30 years ago when EVMs were being introduced, early days of electronic voting machines. But let's ask Anubhav Srivastava about this. That why is it that, Mr. Srivastava, that we haven't thought of using electronic means to ensure there's no copying, there's no paper leakages, to do to examinations what electronic voting machines did to voting?
Yeah, this is a very good idea actually, and that this can be implemented. See, as far as NEET exam is concerned, more than 25 lakh students appeared, around 25 lakh.
Yes.
As far as JEE is concerned, that exam is not in pen and paper mode. And in JEE exam, mostly NTA conducts JEE mains, but IIT, they conduct JEE advanced. So sometimes there are instances in JEE mains also, which is an online exam. The students have carried mobile phone inside the examination center, but they have been caught. So it's easy to conduct an exam for JEE students because the strength is almost around 8 lakhs. Here the students who are enrolling for this NEET exam is more than 24 lakhs. And we don't have this facility available everywhere. So yes, the suggestion being given by our panelists is really good, where we can use the technology as far as the papers are concerned. We can do the system. We can use AI technology also.
Yes,
so
we can.
But
thanks, Mr. Srivastava. I'll just ask Mr. Singh about this technology. A couple of questions. I mean, does it do away with papers altogether? Is it like a paperless examination? And do you have the ability to conduct an examination simultaneously across the country? I mean, the technological challenges of catering to more than 2 million students across the country. Is that QED?
Yes, definitely. This solution can be scaled operationally very easily, because all you need is like a good printer, and that too after one printer after every 500 students. So like even today, like when the government agencies conduct the examination, they go for the infrastructure support from the universities, the colleges, or maybe the schools, and also deploy hundreds and thousands of computers as well, that too on a rental basis. So our solution is very simple, and I would say like you can simply have one printer after every 500 students, and with the blockchain technology, and even if you want to conduct it in a remote area where you don't have the internet, we can keep the entire stuff onto the blockchain, and after conducting the examination, we can sync the notes sitting in the exam center and in the the data in the server room as well. So I don't foresee any challenges operationally, because we have already done that on a small scale, and we are fully prepared to do it on a large scale as well.
So, tell us, Mr. Singh, about that examination that you conducted in Punjab. You mentioned that you'd successfully done it the first time, and how many students were involved in this examination? What were the challenges you faced, and how did you kind of overcome it?
So we conducted two examinations. The sample size was like 300 approximately students and candidates, I would rather say. And so first exam was for hiring of a lab technician, and the second was one for the lab staff nurses. So this was done for Health Department of Punjab in the month of December last year only. And a white paper was also published by Honorable Health Minister Dr. Balbir Singh, I guess. So that was also there, and anybody can go and look at that white paper. So what we have done in this case as well, so we let the machine design the question paper, and then we provided we made the candidates the stakeholder, like where the packet is at those questions. So till the time the candidate's key is not provided, nobody can open that, nobody can unlock that digital packet. So candidate key and also the invigilator key is applied an hour before the exam takes place, and when this is applied, in the real time the question paper comes out of the printer. Right. So that's how we did the entire thing, and it went very well, and it was a success, I would say. And now we are looking more, bigger challenges to solve, maybe on a statewide or maybe any maybe on the center countrywide as well.
Statewide and countrywide. But Karthik, any challenges that this could face, this technology? I mean, of course, we are quite resistant to technology and changing. I mean, I'm surprised how EVM so stealthily came in, and they've become like 20 years now. Absolutely. We've been conducting elections without any major glitches. But do you foresee any challenges for this?
I mean, as I'm visualizing this entire chain of blockchain-enabled examinations, I'm just seeing a lot of challenges and a lot of connections which can snap. Number one, you've got to have computers.
Yes.
Right. I'm sure schools and centers where examinations are conducted do have computers. Are those robust enough? Are they spruced up enough to be able to, undertake blockchain-driven activities? Number one. You've got to train people. So right now your invigilator system is fairly simple. You get staff from the school or from the universities to come and just make sure that the examination is being conducted and nobody is sort of talking to each other and the basic discipline is maintained. But here you will need the invigilators also to understand how to operate the machine.
Right.
You've got an active internet connection. If you don't have an active internet connection, internet snaps, there's a power fluctuation, the entire blockchain philosophy can go for a toss.
Disrupted.
And then you've also got to need to have printers and capable printers, cartridges loaded. I'm saying, there are too many moving parts, and the possibility of something snapping right on the day of the examination and then a re-examination or grace marks or any of that dropping up again opens up an all new Pandora's box for any examination conducting agency.
So let's ask Mr. Singh about this. Mr. Singh, too many moving parts, as Karthik just said, and he's someone who looks at crypto very closely. What could go wrong in a situation like this? If you're talking of electricity disruptions, machines not working, invigilators not being trained to use machines properly. I mean, have you kind of drawn up a list of challenges, and how do you kind of propose to fix these?
Yeah, I totally agree with Mr. Karthik, because he is very fair, like when he says that. So how we plan to solve these challenges, as I earlier said, presently we only require a printer and a computer. That's it, and it's as easy to use as you are using WhatsApp only, right? So for the where the center where you don't have the internet, we can have a local nodes deployed. See, the cost of having a question paper leak is much higher than the cost of applying these operational, solving these operational challenges. These are very simple and operational challenges, I would say. And by applying maybe or with the careful planning, you can very well in advance mitigate these challenges. Because what if you need to have even another printer as a backup printer as well? Right? Because what we are talking about, ensuring the integrity of the exam system, right? Where you are having hundreds and thousands of PCs to be deployed on a rental basis, then I think in front of those challenges, this is very minuscule or very small challenges to address. So having one invigilator, so passing the key or maybe pressing a button is not a challenge for him to, taking the key of the student. And you can, if you want to remove this plus, you can simply put it on the biometric as well, where you can have their Aadhaar number, maybe iris scan. You can simply, ensure that it is the right candidate who has registered for the examination. And at the same time, as I said, having a printer and a computer in place, in the technology, in the lab, And you can also plan for a maybe backup of a printer and like system, because a blockchain can operate without internet as well. Like you can, when you have all the data synced in a node, it can work like in an internet fashion as well. So you definitely would need, I would say, these backup plans. So I totally agree with him that these kind of backup operations are, the backups are required. However, my only submission is like, the cost of ensuring or maybe like uh, the kind of like the loss
Yes.
the candidate goes
The
into, like,
benefits
the one
outweigh
work.
the risks, as you were mentioning,
Exactly.
and that's
You got it.
something that we probably wouldn't know, Karthik, unless we actually kind of started it somewhere. We had to start it somewhere. I'm sure EVMs also had that same challenge.
I'm sure.
In the early days, when you're looking at whole scale booth capturing, and booth capturing is something that's gone completely out of our lingo now. I mean, no one talks about it anymore, and hopefully that could be the way to go forward with paper leaks. I mean, from being so endemic, every single day or literally a leak a day, we could possibly go on to a future where we're looking at leakless examinations. Yes, Mrs. Vikram Singh, last point before.
Yeah,
Yes.
so see, our vision is to make this application as the de facto protocol, how the blockchain application will be implemented in the e-governance initiative.
Yes.
And that's what we are after as the ambassador of the blockchain, because we are running one of the largest blockchain consulting out of Mohali. And so
Yes.
as the ambassador of the blockchain, our vision is to, make India as the blockchain capital of India. And the way the government is moving with the fintech initiative, like making it as a fintech capital of the world, we want to see the same on the blockchain side as well. So,
absolutely. Who knows? So blockchain could be the solution for NEET and several other examinations that India is wrestling with, leak after leak after leak. And that is the kind of technology that India should be adopting. You have the gold standard of India's elections being conducted now for 20 years without any major incidents. So possibly blockchain technology could come to our rescue to solve our leaking examination system. But thank you very much, Mr. Vikram Singh, Anubhav Srivastav, and my colleague Karthik Malhotra for joining us this evening.